Guys, we're at Spindle Barbell Club in Lowell, Massachusetts. I'm about to hit a workout with my buddy Nick. He's a fellow trainer over at the Hampshire Hills Athletic Club in Milford, and this is his home gym. I have the honor of hitting a session with him, and we're gonna take his body fat percentage as well. What's going on, Nick?
What's going on, man? Strength sport, athletic. We have all of our power racks, benches, contest benches for squats, bench press. Great if you're in powerlifting. Pull down, hamstring curl, deadlift platforms with deadlift bars.
Those are nice because you don't have to spend forever unloading your plates.
Yes.
You can just prop it up.
Which can definitely be a pain once you start getting up there in weight. So,
Oh my god.
strongman guys, whole plethora of logs can't go wrong here, along with sandbags, kegs, stone platforms, all the stones you want.
I've only ever seen this stuff in like Brian Shaw YouTube videos or Eddie Hall, stuff like that.
Full dumbbell rack up to 125 pounds.
These are the only greens I need in my life. So now we're in Nick's office. As you can see, he's pretty strong. Got some nice trophies here. We got a sword. I think I like this one the best. We are going to take Nick's body fat percentage before we get our training session in. We have two methods that we're going to work with today. You know, Nick and I are both personal trainers. Traditionally, I've been educated to take someone's body fat percentage using calipers. And in terms of a system, it's got 3.5% margin of error when it comes to accuracy. Once we pinch him on different areas of his body, we're going to plug those numbers into a formula. And then afterward, we're going to check out the in-body machine. When you want to consider how you're going to get the most accurate reading by using this method, you want to have the same person, if possible, testing you every time. And if you're not super confident about the reading, you're going to take a few measurements until they are plus or minus 1 or 2 each time. So it goes by millimeters, if you can tell. He's the only guy who's got a nicer beard than I do.
It contributes to body fat score.
Yeah, we're gonna shave that.
Yeah, we might
First, yeah. Bro, you got quad veins? Damn. It's just not fair. Okay, so we added up the numbers, we put it into our formula. By the calipers method, again, 3.5% margin of error, so that means that whatever number you do get, it could be 3.5% above or below. We have Nick at 11.3% body fat, which means he weighed himself this morning, 229 pounds. And so by this measurement, he would be about 25 pounds of fat mass and 203 pounds of lean mass. We are going to set up the in-body, and we're gonna have Nick hop on there.
So first things first, when you're doing the in-body, if you have any piece of jewelry, anything like that, take it off. We want it to be as accurate as possible. Socks gonna come off because it does use bioimpedance. And just make sure like you don't have anything in your pockets. A lot of people forget their phone. I messed that up the first time. InBody sends us these little InBody tissues because again, it is bioimpedance. We want to try to get the best connection with the plates that are on the in-body. So we want to make sure there's no dirt or sweat or anything like that on our hands or feet. So step one is I just hop on.
Your weight. Do not grab the handles or move. Weight measurement is completed.
So I did have a little eat and drink before I came in. If you look at the screen, you can actually type in your name so that way it tracks it over time.
Confirm your personal information. then press enter.
That's supposed to say like 6'3", by the way. I don't know why it keeps coming in as 5'11".
Yeah, that's
That's some sort of...
we gotta talk to InBody about that.
Yeah, definitely 6'3".
What do you like about this machine, Nick?
Well, I like that, for starters, it's comparable to a DEXA scan, which, for those of you who don't know, is something you can really only get in a lab that has it, or a sports performance lab. It's considered the state-of-the-art technology, and InBody is 98% comparable to it. According to the InBody, my current body fat percentage is 15.3. So it's a pretty comprehensive breakdown. My weight, according to the InBody scale, is 233.3. My skeletal muscle mass, so how much muscle tissue do I actually have, is about 115 pounds. My total body fat mass is 35.8 pounds. And then it also kind of graphs them comparatively. So according to this, most of my weight is coming from either skeletal muscle mass, water, or just actual bone and organ internal viscera. I'm sitting at about 15.3%, which is fairly lean, that's fairly athletic. It's keeping me under that 20% that I don't really want to be playing around with. So my goal is I would like to get that down to 10%, but I'm also trying to put some weight on. There's no way we're going to build skeletal muscle mass without adding body fat. It's just unavoidable. But what's important is now every 4 to 6 weeks, I can compare, measure, and manage data to see, okay, in my mass gaining phase, am I just getting fat or am I actually building muscle? So one thing that I did forget to point out here is that InBody will also estimate our basal metabolic rate. The idea of how many calories we want to burn if you were just laying in bed doing absolutely nothing all day. The amount of calories burned that you need to actually use as fuel to stay alive, just for bodily functions. I don't think that any piece of technology, unless you're in an actual laboratory for this, is going to be overly reliant. There's a lot of wearables like Whoop, maybe Oura Ring, Fitbit, that will try to guess that number for you. None of them are extremely accurate or reliable, but does it give us an idea of where we're at, and it's something we can kind of track over time? So at least maybe gives me a starting point if I'm trying to gain weight or lose weight, and then compare it if I'm somebody who's tracking my calories and tracking my macros. I can sit there and say, hey, this is actually pretty consistent with what I'm actually eating. So it's just more data that we can always use to measure and manage against each other. So regardless of its accuracy, the fact that we can get data that's repeatable is much more reliant than it being entirely accurate. If I use this every time and the numbers are wildly different, that's invaluable to me. This could say I'm burning, 1 million calories at rest, which I know is wrong, but if I can still compare that to something over time, it's going to lead me in the right direction, good, bad, right, wrong, whatever. And that, in the fitness industry and sports performance industry, is really what we care about, is more accurate and repeatable data over time.
Obviously, you have a lot more metrics to work with versus the calipers. You can only really get your fat mass separately and lean mass comparatively, organs, skin, bone, and muscle tissue. So you get a much more comprehensive breakdown with the InBody, as Nick very clearly described for us. So now we're gonna head down to the floor and we're gonna hit a sick back workout.
find out. Greg here likes the wraparound pull down. He's got some better mobility than I do, so he can access this. Tell me if it looks like my scap is winging.
Yeah, that's a good one. No, it's good. It's looking good, yeah.
My pleasure.
Where's everyone going to find you out?
Two places. Instagram's gonna be best. Just follow me. Name like Crockford, strongman name. Or if you're looking at the professional page, that's gonna be Innovate Fitness, HSP. So Innovate _Fitness _HSP. Sick, right?